Ladies and gentlemen, another day, more bad news for the far left radical extremist, big tushy cushy Letitia James. Ladies and gentlemen, this is great. The deep state is being taken apart and destroyed by Donald Trump and his administration. The deep state is doing everything they can to keep itself on life support, but nothing is working. This administration is dedicated to restoring the republic back into the hands of we, the American people. Do me a huge favor, smash that thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment. Where are you tuning in from today? We're diving right into this story, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Whoa. Deep state prosecutor who authored the leaked Letitia James memo was fired after she sent the case file to her personal email account. Elizabeth Yusi, the deep state prosecutor in the Eastern District of Virginia, who authored the leaked Letitia James memo, was fired after she allegedly sent case files to her personal email account. ABC News obtained the memo authored by EDBA senior prosecutor Elizabeth Yusi, interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan fired Yusi last week. ABC News selectively leaked the memo to try to discredit the indictment against Letitia James. New York Attorney General Letitia James was indicted by a federal grand jury in the Eastern District of Virginia earlier this month. According to the DOJ, Letitia James was charged with 2 crimes: bank fraud under 18 U.S.C. Section 1344 and false statements to a financial institution under 18 U.S.C. Section 1014. According to portions of the memo leaked to ABC News, the deep state prosecutors who refused to indict Letitia James claim the evidence they found undercuts Lindsay Halligan's case. CNN reports that UC was partly fired for sending investigative files on Letitia James to her personal email account. Here's where I'm loving the fact that this happened. And let me break it down real quick, and this video is going to be done. But you want to hear this. Who remembers when Trump first got indicted in New York, right? The Alvin Bragg case was the first one. And then us conservatives came out and said, whoa, this case was looked at by federal prosecutors in 2017 and 2018, and both times they refused to go after Trump because they said there's nothing there. And they said, well, maybe they found something. Now the Democrats are using the same arguments. Well, the original prosecutors did not want to indict Letitia James, and then Trump hired Halligan, and now she's doing it. Your argument has no standing because when we tried to use it, you didn't want to listen to us. Number 2, the deep state is much more than the big actors and the big voices and faces. No pun intended when it comes to big tushy cushy, the big faces, the big faces and voices that we hear and see. The deep state, more than, the Obamas and the Bidens and the Clintons and the Letitia James, it's the little people. It's like those DAs that were just fired for leaking to the press, trying to, cover game for Letitia James, who are supposed to be working for we, the American people, but they are working in conclusion with the far left extremist mainstream news medias like CNN and NBC and all those other extremists. Let's just keep it simple. And they're leaking to them, trying to protect the deep state creatures. The deep state, yes, it's got a couple heads, but it's got millions of hands and feet. And we can put Obama in prison and Biden in prison, but unless the little guys are taken down, and I would even argue that the little guys whose names we don't know, who are just sitting in local DA offices doing paperwork, they are much more valuable to the life and longevity of the corrupt deep state than the Obamas, than the Clintons, than the Epsteins, and the Letitia James, and the snake with the pencil neck, Adam Schiff. So, yes, We want to take down the big guys, the bosses, so to say. But unless the little guy that's sitting in that DA office, or is that a assistant who's leaking, who's spying, who's talking to the media, who's protecting their bosses, those guys are more valuable, again, to the life and longevity of the deep state. That's why it needs to be taken down. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. More bad news for the deep state. More bad news for Letitia James. More of them are being fired. They will not get hired anywhere else. And they're all going to prison. And I love it. God bless you guys. I love you. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you soon.